had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, you know. Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Hey, hello everybody to the show, Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. This is my Tuesday night show. Hey, Batgirl, good to see you. Kevin, always a pleasure to see you, buddy. But, yeah, just a couple announcements before I start. I want to thank PRN Talk Radio 107.7 New Orleans for allowing me to give you 2 nights a week, Sundays and Tuesday nights, from 8:10 p.m. to 9:10 p.m. both nights on this same platform. Also want to say that Miss C.L. Thomas, the Gateway Podcast, she has a very, very good guest on tonight. She is a dear friend of mine, her guest. Hey, that girl. She's a very good friend of mine, and her name is Donna Copas, C-O-P-A-S, Donna, who's also a very dear friend of mine. Donna was on my show a while back, and I'm telling you, please, you can go over to CL and watch our show. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but my internet keeps going in and out. I don't know if it's happening or not, if you guys can see it, but I know for me, I don't know. It's just been a really, really strange one. I do have to tell you, though, I'm still under the weather, and I'm going to try to do the best I can with this show tonight. And I don't know how it's going to go. So we'll see how that goes. So everybody out there in the 160 countries that we do broadcast to our show, welcome. And you a Merry Christmas to everybody out there in all them other countries that we're in. Also, for starting of the new year, I am looking for people who would like to sponsor my show. Hey, Marketti, good to see you. I'm looking for people who like to sponsor my show. And what that includes is the whole month for advertising on my show, on both shows. So if you're interested, or if you know somebody's interested into wanting to get their business out, please tell them about me, and I will be really happy to talk to them. So that's where I'm at right now. I might sound a little downer, Shawnee Downer here, but it's just I can't breathe sometimes. And I don't know what's going around. The whole family got it. A lot of people at work have got this cold, this flu, and we'll go from there. So, for tonight's topic, haunted places. Excuse me. Hey, Heidi, good to see you. So, we're going to talk about haunted places tonight, or wherever the conversation goes, because you know how my show goes. You start talking about one thing and end up talking about another. Everybody in the chat room who knows of any places that are haunted, please bring them up. Joni, good to see you. You're not feeling good either, huh, Heidi? I don't know what the hell it is, man. I mean, universe, man, it's like somebody threw some kind of like bomb in the atmosphere or something, that's like really messing with a lot of people. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm going to start it off with, and I know Mark Eddy's in the room, so we'll talk about the Mothman in West Virginia. Now, everyone knows about the Mothman. Now, if you would come up to me and say, how about you, Sean? Do you know or do you believe in the Mothman? And I'll be the first one to tell you, no, I don't believe in the Mothman. And I've had a couple shows on the Mothman where I truly believe that it does not exist. I believe that it was a setup story for what the government was doing to that town. Disposing hazardous materials into the river or the lake, one or the other, or a pond, something like that. And I truly believe that it was a make-up story by the government of West Virginia. Moth woman exists, though. But yeah, I'm just catching my breath here, guys, ladies and gents. But yeah, I don't believe in a Mothman at all. I have never been down there, and I know they have big festivals about the Mothman and all this stuff. But for me, when I got into the paranormal investigations and stuff, I really did a lot of research on the Mothman. And from what I hear from people who do believe in the Mothman, okay, and then what I read, which is history about the Mothman, I just, I'm on the fence, leaning toward there is no Mothman. Okay, Heidi says we made a stop at Walmart after taking Audrey. Oh, okay. We made a stop at Walmart. That's cool. Wally World. And Heidi's intrigued of the Mothman. Well, Heidi, you got to come over here, come east, and then we can go down and visit where the Mothman is. So, But I'm not one to judge anybody. I respect what you all believe in, and if you believe that the Mothman exists, then God bless you. But for me, it doesn't. It doesn't exist. Another place. Now, I was going to talk about Pittsburgh a little bit, but the more I thought about it, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you had the French and Indian War. You had all kinds of battles. A lot of tycoons, Carnegies, the Fricks, a lot of wealthy people. And especially around Homestead, PA, where the Carnegie Library was built. See, here's the deal. Andrew Carnegie built a library over in Homestead, PA. And he built it for the workers over there in the mills in Homestead. And what they would do, he built a swimming pool in there, a shower, a big auditorium, the whole 9 yards. Okay. And this library is huge. It's huge. And I've investigated it before. A lot of times with my friend Drake Bowman of the sorry Drake, Oakmont Paranormal Society. Heidi's hiding. That's funny. She's in the book, Al. That's cool. But I will tell you this: if you go to the YouTube and you type in Ghost Hunters Carnegie Library of Homestead, I'm on that show. Okay, and I'm the first one that you see, and that was a trick. Not a trick, but a trip. To be honest with you, it was a trip. Because here's the deal behind this stuff. Everybody watches these paranormal shows, okay? And, they got the scary music. There you go, girl. She's repping her PPS. Okay, girl. Haha. That's good. Now you're a ghost. You wear the PPS hoodie, you're a ghost. But back to I've done a couple shows, and what really sucks the most is that you have to word what they want you to word. I mean, when I was on Taps, it took them like about 13, 14 takes just to get my little 1 minute speaking thing for them. But there's some more shady stuff behind that, which, I don't know. I did sign a letter to be quiet, and I couldn't tell anybody or talk about it. And so it was crazy. And so I don't know. Maybe I might tell you later on. Maybe I might not tell you. But you had to do what they told you to do. And then another show that I was on, hey, Michelle, good to see you. And another show I was on, I don't remember the name. Do you remember the guy who was a cop and there was a girl psychic? Yes, ma'am, that girl, there are PPS hoodies. I forget the name of the show. If anybody can help there, help me. But they also had a show, it was called Beyond that show. And I was on there, and people in Hollywood gave me a call and they said, would you like to be on? I said, sure, not a problem. So check this out. No, not Scooby-Doo. You're serious. You're funny, Mark. But so they asked me to be on it, and I said, sure, why not? Get there, and it took them 2 days, and they filmed me for 6 hours a day for 1 minute of being on that show. Yes. And I had to say what they wanted me to say. I never got the opportunity beyond the outer realm. That's it. Thanks, Batgirl. No, 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 no. No, no, not Michelle's. No, this was on TV. It was on Friday night. But you know, so what you see on TV with all these paranormal shows and stuff like that, you have to really understand that there is so much that goes before it, I mean, they shoot 4 days in one place, and out of the 4 days and all that video that they do, they have to sit down and edit it. And if they don't find nothing, they have to go back and try to find and get something. They can't get nothing, and then they make it up. Kevin says, the only haunted place I can think of is the burning ship seen on the Restigou River from the Battle of DGE. Okay, that girl, for more details, we do see a lot of paranormal things about that. Okay, thank you. Might have to look that up. There you go, CL. Thank you. The Dead Files. The Dead Files. And there's my girl. Hello, Miss CL Thomas. Thank you for that. But the show that I was on was called Beyond the Dead Files. That's cool. Thank you. And again, everybody, Miss CL, she has her show tonight, and her guest is Donna Copus, and she's from Ohio, and she's a dear friend of mine. And you're going to enjoy CL's show because Donna's a very, very good person, and she has a lot of good stuff to talk about. And so far, I'm doing okay. Those shows are so overproduced. They are made for ratings, not truth. And that is true, CL. That is definitely true. It's all about the ratings. Now, I don't have I don't know, can we somehow get a copy of the Nielsen ratings? That would be funny to see what was on the ratings. But you know what? See, a lot of people now are doing it on YouTube or live streaming it now because it's a hell of a lot cheaper to do. And like I keep telling everybody who wants to have their own ghost show or have their own paranormal show, here's what you need to do. You need to write a book. Write one book or two books of the paranormal. Okay? And then get it published, and then hopefully a producer of a show will read the book and say, okay, let's do this, and you got your own paranormal show. And that's how it works. I mean, they just don't come out. You could try your best. You can kiss every ass. You know, no, don't worry about it there, vet girl. You're good. You're good. Oh, you weren't way off. That was okay, sweetie. But you could kiss people's butt to get on TV, to have your own show, do what they tell you to do. And they just use you. They just use you. And me and CL talked about it one time. That CL says most of the TV people can't even read a book, nonetheless write one. So true. But at that time, at that time, like Zach and all them, they acted like a bunch of assholes. And there weren't too many paranormal shows on there when Zach started and when Tap started. So they kind of like, came in and they said, okay, the show's yours. The Dead Files is a show you were talking about. Thank you, Johnny. But what really sucked the most about that Dead File thing was I had to watch. Okay, I was doing a reading, and the people behind me, the clients that they were filming, were holding hands. Now, here's what's the crazy part about this. They made that couple hold hands 13 different ways, 13 different positions. Yes, that's the truth. So we are, let's see, it's 8:30 p.m. So you know what that means. It's time for us to go and get our break in. So I need to breathe and talk, catch my breath. So everybody, I'll be back in a couple minutes. And if you have to smoke a cigarette, get a coffee, pop, whatever, go for it. I'll see you in a couple minutes.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away. Dare.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second part of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. Also, remember that C.L. Thomas, he was in the chat room today. Thank you, Heidi. She has her podcast right after mine. I do believe it starts at 9:15, and her guest is Donna Copus, who's a very dear friend of mine who talks a lot about the Watchers. And thank you, Kevin. And you know, that's all I'm going to say. The Watchers. You'll find out what the Watchers are with Miss Donna Copus. It's going to be a good show. In fact, I got to get Donna back on here again for a while because basically I'm really interested in the Appalachian Mountains. So pretty soon I'll be doing shows on that. But since this is the month of December, all I'm doing is almost Christmas stuff or something, something like haunted places. Because I'm really not feeling good, if you could tell in my voice, and cold, and it was really, really cold. Like, for instance, this is so much Pittsburgh weather, okay? Yesterday, it was 9 degrees all day, 9 to 12 degrees. Today, it got the high at 37. Yes, with the sun shining. So going from 9 degrees up to 37 overnight. That's how you get sick here in Pittsburgh, but it's Pittsburgh. But back, I was saying before, Pittsburgh, they had a lot of battles here. They had the French and Indian War. There is Point State Park that's right in the middle of Pittsburgh. And you got the Fort Pitt Museum. 61. You should get an appointment with your doc. I have one Thursday. Johnny, I got one Thursday. Hey, Mish, good day to you. And then there's Fort Pitt. And it's really crazy. If you get an overhead picture of the city of Pittsburgh, you see 3 rivers. You see the Allegheny, you see the Monongahela, I can't pronounce it, and then you see the Ohio River. They call it the confluence. And what happens is the Mon and the Allegheny flow right into the Ohio River, which goes all the way wherever the Ohio River goes. And so there's a lot of paranormal stuff that does happen in the city of Pittsburgh. You have the Frick Mansion. Okay. Frick was a big name here. He was like a millionaire. And at his place, I think his wife haunts the place. All kinds of different sightings and hauntings. Never been there. I never investigated the Frick place. But Kevin says, yep, the scratches on Barry's back hood after I saw something hop on back hood as we left that lot. I willed it off, but it left its markings. Been to a lot of investigations like that, Kev. So, and also in Pittsburgh, like I told you, we talked a little bit before about the Carnegie Libraries. Now there's one in Homestead, there's one in Carnegie, PA. There's one down in Brownsville. And Carnegie did this for everybody. They did. Carnegie did this for everybody. And so we went down to, I think I mentioned this, and I think I saw the show on it, but the Carnegie Library in Brownsville, which is very, very haunted. I think we did see a show on it. They had the little kids reading books down in the basement where all the books were, and it's just like craziness. But all Carnegie libraries are haunted. And everybody thinks that Andrew Carnegie haunts those places. I really don't believe so. I believe the one over in Homestead, it is haunted by all the workers. See, at one point in time, there was a big riot there between, I do believe, Pinkerton Security and the steel workers. and a lot of people got killed during that ride. And I truly believe that most of the hauntings up in the Carnegie Library in Homestead, it's from the steel workers that got killed. Yeah, you know, good morrow all. Stony! There's Miss Stony Hobbit. It's about time I see Stony Hobbit in here. It's been a while. But yes, the Carnegie Library in Homestead has a lot of hauntings. And you walk in and it's beautiful. I mean, the carpentry, the way it's laid out, the old tables, and then everything is back from that day, back in the 1800s, whenever he built those things. And I guess going to an old building, there's always going to be haunted stuff. I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. So, and another big name was Westinghouse. He was rich. Johnny says, I believe that Carnegie wanted legacy, so he built libraries. Okay. That's a good thought, Johnny. He had a ton of money and he was really, really big in the railroad. I mean, that's why Brownsville was so popular, because the railroad ran through Brownsville. And that's another thing to bring up is the railroads, how haunted they could be. Well, see, I'm talking about things around close to where I live because I've been to Ohio, I've been to West Virginia, I've done investigations in Virginia, North Carolina, New York, Ohio, and yes. And so I really don't know much about the haunted stuff out west. So when I do retire, I'm going to head out west. And I'm going to go to ghost towns, man. Go to ghost towns. That would be really, really cool. And so I was just looking at some of the stuff here, on my phone. And come on, okay. Whenever I get that retirement, which might be soon, I don't know. It's another story. But I just lost my thought. I just lost my thought. Oh yeah, so I'm reading on the web, on the internet, and they're talking about, and this is probably pretty close to you, CL. You ever been to Boot Hill Cemetery? They claim that Boot Hill is one of the top 10 scariest cemeteries out there to investigate. And the also one is it the St. Louis Cemetery down in New Orleans, where whatever her name is, the voodoo priestess is supposed to be laid out. But I have to ask a friend of mine if I could say what I'm saying, because that's not where she's laid out. I'll just tell you that. I'll be the Shawnee Downer for that. There's all kinds of cemeteries, especially out here in Pittsburgh, too. You have the one that is up in, where's it at? Pitcairn, is it? Somewhere out there. And they have Walking Rosie. CL, is that in Kansas? No, I believe it's in New, I'll find out for you, hon. Find out. Where is Boot Hill Cemetery? Arizona. It's Arizona. Mish says, would you want to be buried in a haunted cemetery? Bit of afterlife action here too. God, I'm so good to see you, Mish. You really know how to put a smile on my face. And no, CL, it was in Arizona. So, but I'm just catching my breath here. We're getting pretty close. I don't know. Anybody out there in chat would like to like say something or would like to come up? Tombstone. Yeah, Tombstone is pretty close to Boot Hill. I guess. I'm not sure. I have to go out west to find out. And definitely, you know, how about Canada? That girl and Kevin. What about? Heidi, what's that haunted out in Colorado or Kansas? You know, I'm sure that there's a lot of things around where y'all live. Now, let me ask you, Kevin. Let me ask you, Vet. Okay. Hey, Boise, good to see you. Let me ask you, Kevin, and Vet girl. Is there a lot of haunted places out there in Canada? Do you know it's really haunted on the west part of Canada or the east part of Canada? I mean, I meet a lot of paranormal investigators. A lot of them are my friends that are from Canada, and they do investigate. But I was wondering if it's like really, really popular, really big in the paranormal out there. So, they're thinking what to type. I don't know. In all my times that I was investigating, you can go to any house out there. You can go any place in the world. Okay, and you will find spirits. You will find ghosts. That girl says, I don't document anything, but myself and Kevin have a lot of paranormal activity around us. Johnny says there's a haunted church by my doctor's office. Oh, what's the name of the church? Johnny, if you want to put it out there. So, Kevin and Vet, do you guys go paranormal investigating together? When you said that, I'm glad you said that, Vet, because, you said that you and Kevin have a lot of paranormal activity, okay, around you guys. It's because your energy, you know what I mean? Your energy that you and Kevin have. Spirits are definitely attracted to it. Kevin should agree with that, and you should also, Vet. That girl says, I think a lot of people here are more or less in denial. That's I can understand that, Vet, but you know what? It's the 21st century now. And think about it. Okay, you had all those ghost shows, okay, on TV. And do you know after a while, people started to accept the fact that there were ghosts in their house and they didn't want investigations. It's crazy. Mish says, I'd love to do ghost walks down my main street where I live. Few haunted buildings. Cool. Okay, no. Okay, Kev. Oh, that stumbles upon you then. Okay. I haven't heard that in a while, too. Mish, the Denial is a river in Egypt. Yes. I haven't heard that in a while. But yeah, so back to the cemetery I was telling you out in Monroeville. There's a ghost out there. Her name is Walking Rosie. And the story behind Walking Rosie was that one night a bunch of kids went in to the cemetery and they grabbed her headstone. This is a true story. They grabbed her headstone and they threw it over the hill. Well, Rosie, the story behind it now is Rosie is not resting until she finds her headstone. And have I seen her? Yes, I have. I have seen her at the cemetery. But I'm telling you, you'll never get a picture of her. Never. get a picture because she's fast. But I have seen her. Heidi says there's a lady here that has done haunted downtown tours twice a year. I love this town's history. Sweet, Heidi. Sweet. Man, maybe I can get her on the show. You can give me her info, Heidi. I'd be happy to do that. But yes, I have seen Walking Rosie. Down there along the Youghiogheny River, there's a bike trail. It's called the Allegheny Bike Trail. And there's a cemetery on that bike trail called the Gervosburg Cemetery. Okay. And what you have to do is get off in Boston. It's the beginning of the trail. Okay. And you walk this trail. It's a good 3-4 mile. Okay. But as you're walking along the trail, a long time ago, there was a lot of fighting between settlers and Native Americans. Okay. And as you're walking down, you could actually kind of see shadows on the path coming towards you. It is like really, really creepy. And once you get close to them, they just dissipate. But you still get that little chill in your body. You know how your hairs stand up? Kevin says, I used to work at the Comfort Inn and have seen bloody floors between back door exit on my night watch. I went to get mop and bucket, got back, floor was clean. Ha ha. Told morning manager about it, and she had same. Huh. That happened to her when she worked night shift. Huh, that's interesting. Did you ever get the history behind that, Kevin? That would be interesting. But there's so many places, like, and then along the Allegheny Bike Trail, you know, you get to the cemetery. It's called Gervosburg Cemetery. And we investigated there. We really didn't get too much. But it was an experience walking the bike trail. It really was, along the river. Excuse me. Then there's a cemetery down in Periopolis, PA. And all these places that I tell you, you can look them up. You can Google them and it'll tell you all about it. It's called the Quaker Cemetery. Okay, and it's off of 51. I believe that my house in Harrison City, PA. Oh, really? I wouldn't doubt it. Harrison City, hon, that's up there around the Battle of Bushy Run. Am I correct? I was just going to get to that Bushy Run battle. And it's a battlefield up there around Harrison City. And that battlefield is very haunted too. But yeah, I mean, like I said, so much activity that has happened in Pittsburgh. A lot of battles, a lot of wars, a lot of pain, a lot of killings, the whole 9 yards. And it's really creepy too, because when you go and walk in the city of Pittsburgh at night, okay, you can do that now because there's hardly anybody in the town no more. Nothing big in the city. But just like at Gettysburg, you know, when you walk through the town at 1 o'clock in the morning, you see shadows. You hear people marching. In Pittsburgh, you hear voices. Now, you hear them going down some alleyways, but I'll never go down the alleyways because God only knows what's in there. But if you go down to Georgia and you do Mississippi at that, if you go down there in, especially in Savannah, Georgia, I bet you could go out during the daytime and pick up some paranormal activity. You always don't need to go at night, okay? I have definitely did some investigations in the daytime. I've done investigations in the morning and in the afternoons. And I got some, you know, pictures, and I got some video, and I got some audio. The only reason why it happens at night, why a lot of people go at night, is because everything calms down. Okay. Kevin says, often wonder what triggered that to happen on this particular random night. Because I did some same rounds. He said, I don't know, buddy. Pretty interesting. What you should do, maybe, if you can, read the history behind the land. Or if there was any murders at the hotel. That's what I'd do. What do we got? We got about 5 more minutes. Okay. But we're getting there. I'm not asking. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. So let me ask everybody. Has everybody finished their Christmas shopping yet? Has anybody been having any Christmas parties? That girl says, yes, Kevin, I've forgotten that cemetery. I used to hang out with the tombstones when I was a teen. You hung out with tombstones? That girl. I did too. I like tombstones. I like, especially the old ones. What we used to do sometimes is that we would go to a cemetery, an old one that you see on the side of the road. Those are the creepy ones. And a lot of people would knock over the headstones. And we would try our damnedest to set them right up. You know, trying to clean the place up. I have done that a couple of times on my own. Cleaned up little cemeteries, you know, out of respect. Michelle says, I made nuts and bolts last night for Christmas. Saying, okay. But cemeteries are the greatest places to go. All right. First of all, and the most safest of all is because hey, Augie Dory, what's up, my friend? Augie's part of PPS. Good to see you, my friend. Augie could tell you some stories on some investigations. Oh, yeah. Johnny says the shopping's done and no parties. That girl says, yes, had no friends in the living, so I'd hang out amongst the dead. There's nothing wrong with that girl. Nothing wrong with that. The cat's stockings are hung. That's funny. But yeah, had some good times. Oh, I'm glad you popped in, Augie. It was cool. Because me and Augie and a bunch of others, we did a lot of investigations. But my most famous one, places to go, is Gettysburg. Okay, it really is. Really is. It is so haunted up there. But from my experience, it wasn't so much the battlefield. It was the town of Gettysburg that was really haunted. The town itself. And then the two bridges. One is called the Eisenhower Bridge. It's a small bridge. But the slang name for the bridge is called the Suicide Bridge. And there was a lot of suicides. A lot of people jumped off that bridge and killed themselves. And it's very haunted. And it's very scary. And there's a lot of really weird looking animals or whatever that hang out around that area. Then you got Sachs Covered Bridge. That was, that's my favorite bridge to go to because it's haunted. Story behind that was the Confederates, after the Battle of Gettysburg, they went back into Virginia and they actually walked through. They crossed the bridge, Sachs Covered Bridge. And also what they used that bridge for was to hang deserters. And they hung 3 deserters. And I do believe they're from Tennessee or Mississippi, one or the other. But that's for another story. Well, we are at the witching hour right now. Okay. I want to thank everybody for stopping in tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Don't forget, you got C.L. Thomas's Gateway podcast coming on right after this with my friend Donna Copus. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll be better by Sunday. And on that note, children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents, and if you have no children, find someone and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. Good night, everybody. And we'll see you Sunday night. Be safe.